Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and BORSOG Trader. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family and the BORSOG clan. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 0.13% to 23,578. Ethereum is down 1.75% to 1547. What we're going to do now is a quick run through of the crypto market. Looking at DeFi, we can see total value locked decrease 0.25% to $85.03 billion. And we know Rule 4, price moves in waves, so this is not unexpected. There are always opportunities in the crypto market. Even if the majority of the market is red, there are always opportunities, and they reset every day. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you for tuning in. I love sharing this time together. We can see that the market is pretty red overall, but there are always pockets of green. Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. It's really important to do not let the market control your emotions. Markets can get you very emotional, and we've all gone through it. The key is to not get emotional. Don't let the markets puppet your feelings. You should just be neutral. That's what smart money does. You want to get off that emotional roller coaster. Let's get ourselves primed for profitability in the crypto market by reading the CTKS creed. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Wow, let's get into it. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TM6. What do we actually see here? The fear was coming out of the market. Then there was a bit of a spike and a little bit of an increase in fear. How did the main markets react to this? They actually broke through that resistance and have just come back and sought to turn it into support. We can see there's a negative price momentum just at the moment around that support line. This is the power of drawing support and resistance. They can actually tell you where price could go based on probabilities. And why is that? Because price is emotion in motion. People tend to feel the same things around the same times, and this continuously plays out inside the markets. What about bond prices? They're just stabilizing at the moment. What about bond yields? They're just under a level of resistance. And we could say bond prices are at a level of support. What's happened to gold? Oh, poor old gold. Gold is just getting absolutely hammered. It's going down. And what is the DXY doing? It's turning up. It's actually bypassed a level of resistance. Now, we could anticipate or expect that the DXY could go higher, potentially up to around 107.942. So just bear that in mind. What about oil? Oil is starting to revamp, starting to gain positive price momentum. We talked about this quite a while ago and said the basic downtrend of oil is starting to turn around. Just keep this in mind as well. And when we look at junk bonds, we can see junk bonds. We've had a bit of a retracement, but overall, it's a really, really positive move. We look at this because we know that Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, Rule 225. So if that is the case, we must keep our eye on the stock market. we can see that the countdown to the next FOMC meeting is 6 days, 19 hours. And when we actually look at the target rate probabilities, we can see that 1 day ago, a 100 basis point increase was actually 36.2%. Now it's dropped to a 75 basis point increase. That's really interesting. What does it show us? Well, it shows us that the Fed is actually looking to ease off tightening monetary policy, or they're going to tighten less. And this is quite interesting because the annual inflation rate has clocked in at 9.1%. It was 8.6%. So we're actually seeing a lowering of the basis point increase for the federal funds rate, which is really quite intriguing. But what could be driving that? You can see the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rates just coming down and down and down. They've had a slight kick up recently, and what you will actually see is often they will follow the directional movement of the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq and the S&P, the Russell and the Dow, they all follow each other to a great degree as well. So just bear this in mind. We don't have updated statistics on M1 and M2 money supply or the CPI at the moment, but it's quite interesting to view this. And Masterclass students, I do a deep dive on this in TM4. In LV19, Masterclass students, you learn about the global markets, and we've put this chart up before. It's very important to understand that the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones and the Russell, they basically, these indexes and the US stock market overall controls about 59.9% of all money that goes into stock markets globally. So the US markets, if they catch a cold, if they sneeze, the world catches a cold. This is something to be very, very wary of. So we must keep our eyes. For example, if you're in Japan or Australia or anywhere else, you must keep your eye on the US market because it will actually drive your local stock market. We were speaking recently that the Nasdaq could appear to be breaking a tight resistance level and making its way up to this resistance level. That would be very, very normal when you have market corrections. I'll just take off Bitcoin for a minute. That's the way. You probably see more easily now. When we have market corrections, it's very normal for price to sell down to rally, sell down to rally, to sell down to rally, or to rally, break out, sell back, and rally up forward. Just keep this in mind. We're actually anticipating this kind of target. Will it mean the price goes just straight up parabolically like this? Well, potentially it can happen, but it's not very sustainable. We don't like seeing things like this because sharp angles tend to reflect. We don't want that. We want a more steady and solid rally because that will build a base that future gains can be made from. We can do the same sort of analysis as we did for the Nasdaq to the S&P 500. You can see the S&P 500 is just about to take out that resistance level. That could cause a bit of negative momentum inside the market, so just be aware of that. And when we look at the Dow Jones is just coming up to resistance. It's been quite interesting to note that the entire crypto market has been heading towards resistance for a couple of days now. It's very interesting how all these markets congeal. They all work together. One thing to also bear in mind, that China has actually lost its support. It's now under resistance. Many people were in the market when the COVID-19 pandemic hit and it drove markets down. Something really interesting, the news was absolutely depressing around that particular point in time. And even though everything was rallying, the news was incredibly negative and people would not participate in the market. Just be aware, when prices come down like this, the news is not positive. It's kind of doom and gloom everywhere. I would suggest that we're right back there again, just a bombardment of negative news. I have a philosophy on the news, and that comes from all the decades I've been in financial markets. Listen to the news with one eye closed, one ear closed, and half your brain turned off. If you do that, you'll be infinitely ahead of other people. The news terrifies. Instead, you can mark up your charts with the CTKS method, go independent, look at the charts, do an objective analysis on what is happening, and you'll be much, much better off. Masterclass students, you'll get this chart and an in-depth discussion in LV19. Rule 45 is very powerful to us. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. When you look at a market like today, we can see there's some red in the market. What happened to your beloved alt? Please let me know in the comments. There's a definite answer. These current market conditions are really, really good for BORSOGing. BORSOGing is in and out, synchronizing with the market, starting small with coffee money so that you can learn and keep your costs really, really low. All the market, you need to pay a tuition fee, a cover charge if you like, and that is loss. So if you keep those losses really low using coffee money, you can get into the synchronization pattern of the markets. In yesterday's video, I explained I was scaling out. I predicted that this would happen because across the board, different cryptos are reaching resistance. Does it mean it's just all over? No, not at all. What we just basically do is lock in our gains. Traders always take profits, and it's a really, really good idea to have a small part of your investing portfolio as a trading portfolio to learn the timing of the market. It's really, really valuable to do. Looking at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it was 30 yesterday. What is it today? Spot on, it's 31. Now, what do we see with these levels of fear? We know that the market is emotion in motion. Price is an emotional barometer of what is going on. And what do we see? When fear leaves the market, prices go up because people feel much, much more optimistic. But of course, price is always moving in a wave, and we must keep this in mind all the time. Not only do opportunities reset every single day, just like in life, you have the opportunity to become the person that you were meant to be, the positive person that you were meant to be, with positive excellence and real wealth at any stage. And within the market, we always see waves up and waves down. When you're trading, it's really important to first think, when you place your orders, and all traders and investors share the same goal of appreciation in price. And all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So it's very important, if you're an investor, to learn how to trade. It will help your portfolio immensely. Don't forget, you control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. So what we do with BORSOG ANF, we think about like a traffic light. What if our position goes against us, goes nowhere, or goes for us? Typically, what people tend to do is they only view the green light on the traffic light. They think, okay, this is going to go for me. And then suddenly it doesn't, and they get really upset. With BORSOG ANF, what you actually do is you think about the against case first, the nowhere case second, and the for case third. This actually brings a lot more due diligence into the market, and it's literally just the three-dimensional decision-making process we've been talking about all the time. But when we're in market conditions like this, it's always important to consider the red light first if it goes against you and it stops you. And of course, we don't use leverage. This market is far, far too volatile. Let's have a look at what Bitcoin's price is doing. Currently, Bitcoin is 23,310, and we can see the price is now just selling down. But this is really hard to interpret. Where are the resistance lines? Where are the support lines? What's going on? Okay, we can see now that we've actually come up and broken a particularly strong resistance line, sought to turn it into support, but didn't do it so successfully. We've seen the price come down to an underlying support line and ping back off that. We can see now price is testing this support line, seeing if it holds or it falls through it. And if it does, there's a lower level of support at 23,036. The current level of support for price right now is 23,298. So what could happen here? Perhaps we can have a look at the options market. Max Payne could give us some indication of what's happening. Let's go and talk to Max. Okay, let's have a look. What is Max Payne telling us? Max Payne is saying that the maximum pain, financial pain for options holders will be 23,500 tomorrow, just in this particular session. What about the next day? What the heck is going on here? Max Payne, you naughty Max Payne, naughty Max. It's gone down to 21,500. The options market is expecting negative price momentum. Okay, but what about the end of month? That's something different as well. It's actually come up $500 from 23,000 to 23,500. Max, what are you doing? You're all over the place. Let's have a think about, is Max always correct? Is the Max Payne the level that price actually goes to? Well, we can see that sometimes we have to adjust Max Payne. We have to adjust it up as price goes up. In other words, price impacts Max Payne, not the other way around necessarily, but sometimes Max Payne is really good. So let's have a look at this. What have we noticed here? We noticed that Max Payne didn't change there, but it came down as price was coming down. And then you can see it desynchronized, and then synchronized, then desynchronized. Pretty interesting. What is Max up to? Please let me know in the comments, what do you think about price for the next 24 hours? Where do you think it will end up? Will it end up in a letter, and which one? Doing this active learning is really, really important for you. And it's irrelevant if you're right or wrong. What's relevant is that you learn. You either win or you learn. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. We can see the longs coming out of the market. Their confidence is decreasing. What I was explaining yesterday, it looked as though the shorts were starting to turn around before we had this big spike here. And that's exactly what's happened. The shorts are starting to come back into the market. They're starting to feel more confident. What happens when the shorts feel more confident? From your analysis, please let me know in the comments. This is a fantastic way to actively learn. I want you to think about it from your own perspective. The more that you learn, the more that you will be financially blessing yourself. And the reason for that is crypto is such an incredibly fast market. You really need to know what you're doing. You need to keep your awareness over a large number of things, and that gets actually easier and easier over time to do. But active learning is the key to your success. Let's have a look at the liquidations across the past 24 hours. We can see the liquidations getting up there, nearly $343 million across nearly 100,000 positions. This is real money, and this is money lost due to leverage. A lot of people, when they're new to the market, they get in through leverage because a lot of people actually give leverage links. And when you're a professional, it's okay to do leverage. But when you're new to the crypto market, leverage can really hurt you financially. That's why I suggest it's really good to start small with coffee money, buy at spot, which means you own the crypto, and just learn with small amounts. And then if you want to go do leverage after that, you can do so. But basically, when you know what you're doing, you can do anything because you're consistently profitable. And let's have a look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours. They're about 61% long. What about over the past 12 hours? Nearly 69% long. So the longs are getting hit and it's going up. The past 4 hours, let's say 75% long. Let's just round up for fun. And the past hour, 94% long. You can see that the longs are getting slapped around by the shorts. And we can also see a lot more volume inside the crypto market, inside the derivatives market. It's important to keep your eyes on continuously reliable signals, such as liquidations, such as the options market. It's really good because you're like a crypto detective. You're there hunting for clues, understanding what is going on, but not being influenced too dramatically by any one clue, just putting the whole jigsaw puzzle together and doing your borsogging as well. Borsogging will get you into the synchronization of the market. You might start small, but you don't have to end up small, because when you see the opportunities, you can just jump on them. A lot of people, when they're new to crypto, they chase massive returns, not understanding that compounding is the most powerful force in the universe. And what we see, if you could compound 2% per day on $100, it would grow up to $138,424 in the span of 1 year. You don't have to go for killer percentages to have a killer portfolio. I say this because it's all about taking the pressure off yourself. You don't want to be stressed when you're trading and investing. Let's have a look at the greatest gainers over the past 24 hours, and we can see the total global crypto market cap has decreased 2.34%. We can see the greatest gainers in the top 100, LDO up 3.16%, Doge up nearly 0.7%, XMR up 0.8%, Clayton up 0.3%, so it's not really massive gains at the moment. What are the cryptos that have been hardest hit in the top 100? Quant is down 12%, Arweave down 11.3%, Matic down 11.4%, Ethereum Classic 10.5% down, ICP 10% down, and Nexo about 10% down. And when you think about it, these cryptos were doing very, very well previously. This is all part and parcel of price moving in a wave. I'd like to thank everybody who made comments in yesterday's videos. So many insightful comments in there. It's fantastic to see this sharing. I just love it. Not said. I have had some good results with my BORSOG trades in a few sectors, especially the metaverse. I am now looking forward to the next red day to fill my newly set orders. Fantastic, my friend. You got your wish. And every time people share their successes, I'm just so very, very proud and so happy for you. And thank you, Jeffrey, for your incredibly kind words. And to Badger, congratulations everyone for staying strong through the tough times. That's an incredibly important thing to do. And Jeffrey talks about a lifelong learning attitude is a very, very important thing. There were also some really, really good comments about wallet number 3, and many people in our beloved global family, they actually pointed to Whale wallet number 3 as being a Coinbase wallet. And I absolutely love what Wabi Sabi said. Everyone seems so concerned about wallet 3. Am I silly for not giving a hoot? No, you're not silly. It's absolutely brilliant that you don't give a hoot, and I'll explain why. When you look at different wallets, the whales can manipulate their balances by just transferring between different wallets that they actually hold and own. So if you were a smart money whale and people were absolutely paying attention to every transaction that you did on your wallet, what would you do? You would manipulate the wallet balances to suit yourself. That's why Wabi Sabi says a really, really good point, and it's one I totally agree with. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention, and that's measured through price, which is reality and not future promises. We're getting into the timing section now of finding the market's focus, understanding Rule 28, that opportunities reset daily, and Rule 109, enhancing pattern recognition. And inside the masterclass, there's 100 times more value in there than what I go through on the daily channel. And that's because everything takes a lot of time to actually explain, and you need each building block in sequence. But of course, I make the daily channel as valuable as I can possibly make it. When we look at Bitcoin's price action, we can see it's cleared several levels of resistance. It's just retracing at the moment. Even if it came down and consolidated this base through here, that's perfectly reasonable price action. We know the price is always moving in a wave, up and down, up and down, up and down. This is just the way it goes. But Bitcoin is an exponential asset class. When it takes off, it can really take off and just literally be like a rocket. This is why we need to understand the strength and weakness of the entire crypto market. And that's why we look at this pattern recognition. Comparing Bitcoin's gravity to Ethereum, we can see Ethereum is much, much stronger at the moment. Binance Coin is also very strong, but it's always following Bitcoin's directional correlation. For example, Bitcoin came down. What did Ethereum do? It came down as well. One thing to note, when a crypto is particularly strong, it will over-exaggerate the upward percentage movements and under-exaggerate the negative percentage movements. That's why we like the strong ones. But all strong become weak and weak become strong. So it's important to see a changing of the guard as well. When we look at XRP, look at this over-exaggeration of positive moves. And that, of course, coincided with some good news spikes out there. And we can see that XRP is stronger than Bitcoin at the moment. ADA, poor old ADA, has been quite weak compared to XRP, Binance Coin, Ethereum, and a range of others, say for example Solana. We can see this weakness coming through. We're getting an over-exaggeration to the downside with ADA at the moment. But always remember, weak becomes strong as well. And what you will find is that when investors and traders get all they can out of specific projects, they will move to the other projects that are undervalued. We can also see Solana just retracing with Bitcoin. It's obeying the directional correlation with Bitcoin. And Doge is obeying that as well. And DOT and ADA have been quite weak. I would not be surprised if they turn to strength in the coming weeks. This is always good to keep on your radar. There's always a changing of the guard. The reason I go through so many cryptos with you, I want you to get a feeling of the market. I look perhaps through 20 times more than what I show you each day. And to Art, thank you for your very good comment, Art. Art always shares something really insightful, and so do so many of our beloved global family members. It's wonderful just to log in and read the comments. They're so terrific. And Art said, I have had long comments deleted a lot, and I think this is something to do with the change that YouTube has made just recently in the past couple of weeks. It's increased strictness, so a lot of comments get caught for moderation. I think it could be something like that. And the other thing that can happen, you can be writing a really, really long comment with the video playing, and if the video ends and goes to your new video, your comment will get wiped out because it's just changed from that video across to an entirely new one. I've heard of people going through that. That could be something to look for as well. Art said, I really like the analogy of positive affirmations to salsa dancing. You can't just say, I've got this, after watching a professional dance. And you can't just say, I'm a professional investor, unless you've put in the hard work and learned the hard lessons. But good positive statements in current reality can get your subconscious working for you even while you're sleeping. Art recommends coming up with a variety of different positive affirmation statements, writing them down and thinking before you go to bed, and that will actually seep into your subconscious when you're sleeping. It's a really, really good idea. And Art also says, visualize these statements as reality. Our subconscious will go to work and make these statements a reality for us. It's so very, very true. And one thing you don't want to make a reality is a negative affirmation. If you say things like, I can't do it, I can't win, you'll actually force your brain into accepting a reality that works against you. You don't want to do that. And Art also picked up where I said the most devastating times make you who you are today. Without them, you wouldn't be who you are now. The key in life is to always have a good outcome, even if you've had a negative thing happen to you. And the rain falls on all of us, the good and the bad. It's just the way that life is. We all get setbacks, but we can choose to have a setback or a set up. And the truth is, they're all set ups for greater success in the future. But we have to learn. And the only way of doing that is have empathy for ourselves and others. I'd really recommend that you read Art's comment. It's really beautiful. Turning to the metaverse, we can see Bitcoin's gravity pulling down Mana, Decentraland. Oh, naughty Bitcoin. What about Ape? Ape is getting pulled out of its tree with Bitcoin's gravity as well. What about Sand? Sand is sinking a little bit because of Bitcoin's gravity. What about Stacks? Stacks is sinking quite a lot at the moment. WaxP also coming down. This is why I say, if you want to know what happened to your beloved alt, Bitcoin happened. Just point the finger at Bitcoin. Naughty Bitcoin. You want Bitcoin to go up because the fate of your alts are tied to Bitcoin. And what about Engine Coin coming down and retracing? What about Theta coming down, retracing? Axie Infinity coming down and retracing. This is the power of Bitcoin. We have to honor that power. A lot of people say, oh, Bitcoin, this my particular crypto is the next Bitcoin. Well, it could be, but for the time being, we need to recognize and respect the power that Bitcoin has over the crypto market. That may change in the future, but for now, it's rock solid. And well done, Shane. I'm thinking the Bitcoin price will either consolidate or take a dip down to the next support. So get ready for another round of BORSOGing. Thank you, my friend. It's really all about getting ourselves prepared for what comes next. It's always good to remember BORSOGing is not hodling. You're actually turning your cash over. Literally going in and out of cryptos. It's all about you getting into the market synchronization. I see so many people out of synchronization with the market or specific cryptos, and this can happen. There are some cryptos I just can't synchronize with. I try, but I just can't do it. If you're finding the similar situation, just drop them. It doesn't work. For those cryptos, there are 20,000 other cryptos that you can get involved with. And Jay said something really cool. I missed a lot of buy on red levels today and yesterday, but I win or learn and never blame. So I'm not worrying about it. And Jay, you would be pretty happy today. Your bors would be hit. That's why we have the rule, you can always buy lower. And what we're seeking to continuously do is to get on the right side of the percentage. And Al says a really great thing, and thank you, Al. You're always so kind. Watch out for one heck of a short squeeze and fear of missing out. If the shorts spike and then smart money comes in and crushes them, it's always on. The longs are getting crushed, the shorts are getting crushed. It's a continual crushing game. It's either slapping or crushing, but something's going on. Let's have a look at the community favorites. We can see Filecoin. Filecoin has been brought down with Bitcoin's gravity, and it's been brought down pretty harshly as well. Arweave, that was on an absolute rampage, has been brought down, but being brought down to where? This level of support through here. That doesn't actually violate the uptrend in Arweave. Arweave may still have some go in it, but remember, if we lose the resistance under this particular Bitcoin line, we're coming back to a support level. So just always keep that in your mind. Remember that you get a lot of over-exaggeration in the alts. We love the alts when they over-exaggerate in our favor, but when they over-exaggerate to the downside, we're not too happy at all about them. That's why always have your ANF strategy ready, primed, and armed. Storage coming back to a level of support, but also just going in accordance with Bitcoin's gravity. We can see Anchor selling off hard. in accordance with Bitcoin's gravity as well. Sia coin coming down hard, Flux coming down, Ocean coming down. What we've got to be aware of, if there's more follow through on Bitcoin's negative price momentum, you can expect to see more red follow through on these particular projects. Please be aware of that. Sometimes people say, I bought the dip and it keeps on dipping. This is kind of like one of those times. If we see, I'll show you for example. Say with Bitcoin, it just keeps on dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. This will actually lead to your alts, your beloved alts, also dropping. But if it hits a level of support, now where could that be? I'll just draw it in for you. What you can see here, I'm doing a very tight level of support. Why is that? Because we want a rapid signal. We've got another lower level of support just through here. But if Bitcoin's price reaches about, we'll say it reaches under 22,333, we could have a potential another down leg. But what will happen when it reaches down below that line? It will probably come back up to test that now resistance line if it goes that way and then resume down. You've got to be aware of how price moves. The more analysis that you do with the CTKS method, just looking at all of these things, the more you will be able to take from the market. The market rewards knowledge. And if you gain that knowledge by BORSOGing, just small amounts, just coffee amounts, you will gain invaluable experience because you make the emotions real with coffee money. And that's the critical thing. And from Cashweeder, thank you very much for your kind comment. Like Ken said, if you're sitting on cash waiting for the next wave down, you either win or you learn. It doesn't matter if you miss out. Opportunities come daily. I'm really thankful to have known Ken and this community for having a significant impact in my life. Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you, my friend. I can see how it affects people around me and how I've made some more positive lifestyle changes. We are moving to success. It may be slow, but we are moving there. That's really beautiful. And to CC, thank you, my friend. I think shorts are going to enter in, then get liquidated again. And the weekend is coming up. There are always opportunities on the horizon, and patience is really important. Patience is a really key word right at the moment. We have to see whether support holds or it fails. That support that I was just showing you recently. And as Art said, markets reset daily, so opportunity is just around the corner. So now it's time for patience, and it really is time for patience. Well done, Art, and well done, CC. I want to thank everybody for their comments. It's so beautiful. As a global family, we support each other and we care about each other. Edmund, today's profit was made yesterday, therefore tomorrow's profit is made today. Watch out for buy on red incoming. You're a legend, Edmund. That was very much on the cards as the market was heading into market-wide resistance, and the more cryptos you look at, the more you will see it. There was overextension all over the place. That's why I kept on talking about resistance, and I mentioned I was just chilling out a bit, just booking in profit. And what does it mean? As soon as things clarify themselves in terms of direction, I'm right back in again. Let's have a look at some more community favorites. Synthetics just coming back to support. And we can see all of these are moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. They're all coming down in one shape, way, or fashion. So we've got to be aware of this. And what about crypto, CRO? Just retracing, and we can see that there's a support level at 1277. What about Secret Network? Support level at 111.6. What about Nexo? Nexo is coming really close to a support level at the actual current price. What about EGLD? We can see EGLD has lost that top level resistance. It had some negative air. It didn't really make it in the first place, but this second level of support, what do we see? The price is just around there at the moment, a lot like Nexo. And when you can see other tokens, for example, Secret Network, the current price is above both first and second level resistance levels or support levels. So you want to bear in mind all the different types of shapes that you can get in the crypto market. What have we seen with IOTA? IOTA really rallied very, very strongly, had a lot of strength, and Bitcoin pulled it down. And we see this all the time in every single crypto. What happened to IOTA? Bitcoin happened to IOTA. IOTA did nothing wrong. And it's the same as so many other projects. That's why we must pay attention to the technicals. The technicals will give us an understanding as to how overheated or underheated something is. Let's have a look at Steam. Steam is doing really quite well. It's got a very strong spiky pattern, but it will move in accordance with Bitcoin's gravity. What about LDO? LDO has just been partying recently. Look at this incredible strength and this flattening range. Masterclass students, please let me know what you see there. Now that we've had a really, really good look across the markets, where do you think Bitcoin's price will be the next time we catch up together? Do you think it will be F or E or D or some other number? Do you think it's going higher? Please let me know in the comments. It's always really, really good to do that. With your active learning, you will actively get more profit. I'd like to thank everyone in our beloved global family for all your comments and your active learning. It will make the difference. Definitely. And as a former lecturer in first and second year statistics, when I saw students actively learn, making the content come alive and applying it, they're the ones that get outstanding grades. I don't want you to just pass in crypto. I want you to get a high distinction, first class honors, an A+, but that always comes down to the effort that you are prepared to put into what you're actually doing. And it's the same with everything that you do in life. Unfortunately, we've entered into an economic system of instant gratification, and the hits coming fast and furious from social media and likes and all those kind of things. But the concept is we really need patience to create mastery. So I thought it would be good to talk about patience in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.